क्या राज्य के पास कोविड महामारी से निपटने के लिए पर्याप्त धन है? इस सवाल पर प्रतिक्रिया देते हुए मेघालय के मुख्यमंत्री कोनराड संगमा ने कहा कि फंड कभी भी पर्याप्त नहीं होगा और इसलिए हमें विकल्प बनाना होगा। हालांकि मैं यह नहीं कह रहा हूं कि राज्य के पास धन नहीं है। हमारे पास सीमित संसाधन हैं और हमें यह सुनिश्चित करने की जरूरत है कि राज्य का खर्च परियोजनाएं प्रभावित न हो। साथ ही हमें यह सुनिश्चित करने की जरूरत है कि कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई जारी रहे। संगमा ने आगे कहा कि राज्य सरकार ऑक्सीजन प्लांट, आईसीयू बेड, दवा, जनशक्ति में निवेश कर रही है और इन सभी चीजों पर हम ध्यान केंद्रित कर रहे हैं।
Therefore, we have to make choices, and it's like I guess in any situation that one faces. So therefore, even in this situation, the funds are never enough. It's not to say that we don't have funds at all. We have limited resources. We need to ensure that the state's normal expenditure also is not affected. The normal projects also not affected. At the same time, we need to ensure that the COVID fight also continues with sufficient resources. So it's, to answer your question in short, it's not enough, but it is about managing things, investing things in the right thing when it's needed the most at the right time. So therefore, we are realizing that investing in oxygens and oxygen plants, investing in ICU beds, investing in the medication, all these aspects are very critical right now, the manpower. So all these things are what we're focusing on. So funds are not enough, but it's about managing the funds in the right way.
So we want to ask you.
We have been very clear from day one that number one, as has mentioned by the Honourable Speaker, that this is an unprecedented situation that we face, and challenges that have never been faced before by any government in the world. This, as mentioned by the Honourable Speaker, is like a warlike situation. So therefore, having a perfect solution and being able to resolve every single issue may not be possible in a situation like this. We need to realize that we are working against limited resources and against time, both. And in both these challenges, which are very, very extreme, we need to do the best we can. So therefore, yes, if you look at it one way, that there are many areas which could have been far better. But we need to realize that we work under very, very difficult constraints. And keeping those situations in mind, I feel that the department and the team has done very well. Now, whether you talk of oxygen, where we had just simply 700 cylinders, today we have 3,000 of them, and many more thousands are coming. We didn't even have one oxygen plant, proper oxygen plant in any of the government units. Today we're going to have it on almost 11 to 12 different hospitals and centers. We didn't even have one cryogenic plant, we're going to have 2 of them. So if you look at that aspect also, it's been in a limited time of less than 30 days, all this work has been done. And on top of that, if you look at the entire situation of the beds that we face, we were at simply 350 beds. If you remember the first meeting I had when we had a lockdown, I told you that our 5,000 figure we're looking at, positive rate, is based on the 350 beds that we have. And therefore, we were below 1,000 numbers at that point in time, but still seeing the growth rate, we realized that time was running out. And so we went for the lockdown at that point in time, and we feel that it has helped us. Why I'm telling you all this is, again, to give you the idea that there could be shortcomings, there could be areas where, yes, the things could have been better, but we need to realize that we were working with very difficult conditions, very difficult times, and with limited resources. Having said that, what has been mentioned by the opposition regarding the ambulances that they're mentioning, I'm happy to inform you that through donor ministry, we'll be getting 11 of them with life support. At that point in time, if you remember last year when we were going through this entire struggle of fighting the first wave of COVID, it was more of transportation of people. We were not seeing so many serious cases which needed oxygen support. So that was a time when we invested in ambulances just to ensure that the transportation took place, and therefore the focus on the life support was not in the first phase as much as it is in the second phase. So most of the ambulances that came in the first phase. So now whatever ambulances we're bringing in, we're trying to ensure that they have got all the life support systems also. Another thing which I have mentioned in the meeting today is also the fact that we need to realize that as we fight a war, as we are, battling this enemy, that sometimes it is quite possible for us to sit in a room and really discuss a lot of small issues that could be resolved, or small issues which we feel were solvable. But when you're actually in the ground, when you're actually in the battlefield, when you're on the borderline, what the actual army officer or the soldier goes through is a very different mindset, because you're in that moment at that point in time. So I had suggested in the meeting also, Speaker said he will look into it, and why not all of us, all the members who are present inside here today, which is, I'm talking about the MLAs who are present, that why don't we, visit some of the COVID units, some of the COVID care units, where the PPEs which the doctors and the nurses wear, go through the condition that they go through, and then we'll be in a better position to realize what kind of a challenge we really face. So I urge again, if I have gone to the COVID ward myself in Garo Hills, I've seen what the doctors and nurses go through. It is a very difficult situation. It's a very tough battle. Therefore, really to be able to see things from their perspective sometimes is important for important decision making that we do at our level. So therefore, I've suggested this. I hope I get a positive response from them. And I'm willing at any time. I have already, as I said, visited the COVID ward in Tura. I have no problem visiting the COVID ward here. It will also give a good signal, positive signal. It will also ensure that everybody feels that the members are also involved. And I think it will give a confidence to the health workers. And more important, it will help the legislatures and the decision makers to really decide, after seeing really what challenges the individuals face. And in fact, I would suggest if press all